Some NBA rules that changed because of certain players. We examined how the influence of several NBA top famous performers caused the association to modify certain laws of the game in this script. Basketball rules cannot remain static. As you may have noticed, when James Naismith invented the game many years back, he presumably assumed that the preponderance of the regulations would remain unchanged. However, the NBA evolved over the years, and some sets of conditions were modified and are currently changing due to the players. For the sake of some individuals, over 40 regulations have been altered. Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Reggie Miller, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, and James Harden, to name a few, are among the legends on the ranking who caused several evolutions of these rules.
Iverson now with it for Denver. Got fouled and won!
So individuals effectively drove NBA to adjust certain guidelines to promote their form of playing more equitable to all participants, since they fundamentally altered the manner the game was being played on both attack and defense. Opponents had to fight them uniquely, and they were constantly being torched, so things had to evolve for the sake of the sport. So today we're going to look at some of the NBA players who influenced the league's regulation changes. Mikan, who was responsible for the invention of the game clock, was so dominant that the rules were amended in a futile effort to bring him down. In 1954, the side in control was given 24 seconds for the hoop or loose ball possession. Mikan once again had a significant impact on the rules implementation.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan! It counts!
First, because he coached a team that played a slow-paced style of basketball that suited his game. And second, because the Lakers' opponents would strive to hold control of the ball for as long as possible as a delaying technique to hold onto the ball away from him. The Lakers' historic 1918 loss against the Fort Wayne Pistons, which marks the lowest scoring game in BAA, NBA, and ABA record, brought everything to a climax. Mikan scored 15 points, his teammates each added 3, and the Pistons thought they'd figured out how to stop the big. The NBA, on the other hand, reacted by instituting the shot clock, a policy that drastically altered the game's tempo. But what I find even more incredible is that they modified the regulations once more for wilt, with yet another desperate attempt to curb domination. The new rules had little effect on the large men. Reggie and Durant employed little trickery to attract penalties so frequently that they had to put an end to it. Chuck utilized his divinely skills to ruthlessly turn back bigger men. The NBA is terrified of Chamberlain's coming. Following a stint with the Harlem Globetrotters, Chamberlain joined the Philadelphia Warriors, where he averaged more than 37 points and 27 rebounds as a rookie. He averaged 50.4 points and 25.7 rebounds by his third season. The NBA enlarged the 3-second area to 16 feet in an attempt to minimize Chamberlain's overall dominance of the game. Within the zone, this moved him further from the hoop, at least somewhat, lowering his averages. Rule of Hack-a-Shaq. Shaq is, without certainty, the greatest forward in history. He could slam everybody in his path. Considering that he shattered so many basketball hoops throughout his time, he compelled the NBA to take responsibility for them. The NBA eventually created the Hack-a-Shaq rule, which allows other opponents to foul against Shaq even while he does not have the ball. Bruce Bowen, a secure place to land. Bruce Bowen became known for challenging a baseline jumper by positioning his foot where opponents might ordinarily land, leaving the ankles of opponents in danger of turning or much more severe. After dislocating Steve Francis's ankle and potentially dislocating Jamal Crawford's, the NBA introduced a policy that makes it possible for a player to land on a relatively secure surface other than Bowen's boot. The absurdity of that regulation would be that of a domineering parent. Greg Popovich defended Bowen's actions, noting that the folk who weep about it are just irritated about needing to challenge Bruce. Kobe Bryant hand-checking rule. The elimination of the hand-checking policy has been attributed to several persons throughout the NBA, but this was the most intriguing reason. The 2004 Pistons made up for their shortage of superstars with spectacular resistance. If you look at a tape from the 2004 NBA Finals, you'll notice the Pistons bodying up and slamming Kobe whenever he raced to the goal. However, because Kobe maintained the upper hand on the opponent, no pass interference call. However, that slight bump stalled Kobe just enough for Ben Wallace to gain a fraction of a second and be in a stronger position to challenge the goal. After a debate, note the distinction between player and squad dominance during the finals, the NBA decided to ban all kinds of hand checking even before the 2005 season. This policy was designed to offer attacking individuals greater mobility, but it has provided attacking individuals an undeserved edge, making keeping perimeter players out of the paint nearly unattainable. We all know what occurred after that. The scoring exploded, allowing Kobe to score 81 points in a particular match. LeBron James' anti-Semitic propaganda. Many people were looking forward to LeBron James' return to Cleveland after he notably brought his skills to South Beach. In 2010, the NBA was looking at anti-LeBron products including headbands, t-shirts, and billboards. Before LeBron's return on December 2, 2010, it became known that several t-shirts bearing hostile remarks targeting LeBron James are in circulation domestically in Cleveland. At this discovery, the NBA issued a warning to supporters not to bring such outfits to the game center and even increased surveillance at the door to guarantee no one was wearing inappropriate attire or carrying hostile inscriptions. The Miami Heat defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 118-90, with LeBron James scoring 38 points in that game. Rules of Charles Barkley. In his peak, Charles Barkley was likewise one of the best players. Even though he did not win the title, he is among the top stars of his era. Given tremendous mobility, speed, and fluidity, he would push opponents down the lane with his back and butt and then take shots. He would repeat it up to 20 seconds. As a result, the organization agreed to create adjustments that no player would perform such a movement for longer than 5 seconds at this time. Rule of Zaza. Zaza Pachulia, a center for the Golden State Warriors, wounded Kawhi Leonard in 2017 by stomping on his ankle. The rule was established by Bruce Bowen. He was a powerful protector when facing top-tier scorers, but he also used dirty methods that regularly resulted in injury issues. The NBA then decided to implement a policy requiring participants to land in a safe zone after scoring. Allen Iverson's attire. Allen Iverson was a gifted basketball player. He was instrumental in getting the NBA to modify its dress code. His appearances were frequently in a hip-hop manner, which was judged unprofessional. If there's anything I omitted or if there are any inconsistencies, kindly bring them up to my notice. These are not an unstated regulation discussion, and management and corporate business administration adjustments do not count. Only players do. So you're welcome to subscribe to our channel and add to the list if you have any suggestions or improvements.